Hi guys, I'm trying again, take number 2. For some reason it turned it on and shut it right back off. Today is Melt Away Monday, so I wanted to come in. Today is, well, I don't know. I think it's, yeah, August 13th. Barely August 13th because it's 11:54 in the evening. So it is barely, I look really washed out. That helps, but until I do that. Like, if I keep my hands there, guys, we are golden. Literally. But anyway, um, I wanted to come in and get the Melt Away Monday in. As you know, I lost 4.8 pounds last week in a 2-week time span. This week, I am again down, sort of. I'm only down 0.2, but it's in the right direction. It's still down. It's basically like a no change, but it's still down. I would much rather lose zero point 0.2 than gain 0.2. And like I said in my last video, wow, I like am washed out bad. Sorry about the lighting, guys. Like, really sorry about the lighting. But wow, I hope this don't look as bad for you guys as it's looking for me, but it's looking mighty bad. And I don't know that there's much I can do about it since it's, again, night. I mean, it's almost midnight. Anyway, um, I'd much rather be down zero point 0.2 than gaining zero point 0.2. And like I said in the other video, I believe it's titled 15 times. Like I said in that video, I'm not really doing anything. I'm not being careful with what I'm eating right now. I'm I'm not doing keto or low carb or this or that. The only thing I really am doing is eating at home more, and today is an exception to that rule. We had a lot of running around. My niece had her baby, beautiful baby boy. Can't put it on social media, but he's adorable. And she is my daughter's birth mom, and they do look very similar. Um, yeah, we went to see the baby, and I got a picture of my daughter with her stepbrother slash cousin. So yeah, we had a lot of fun seeing the baby, and it's been an eventful day. She had an eye doctor appointment today, and she no longer needs to wear her glasses. Her farsightedness that she used the glasses for has almost completely cleared up. He said in another month or two, it will be completely gone, and that she may be nearsighted in the future, but right now she's not. So she doesn't need her glasses anymore because she wore them last year. So that is very good news. She's super excited about that, especially starting a new school. So yeah, um, I am still extremely busy. This week is no exception, mostly with things for her appointments, soccer practice, swim lessons. Pretty soon we're going to go to private swim lessons so that it's less stressful for me and hopefully pushes her along a little bit. But yeah, it's really busy. And I look over here because this is where the mess is of the stuff I have to unpack yet, which is the dining room area, which is where everything is just still piled. Not nearly as high, but high enough. Like, I'm ready to be done unpacking. But in fairness, I haven't unpacked anything today. I didn't unpack yesterday. So, yeah, we've been busy. We've been very busy. So, fingers crossed her school uniforms get here before school starts Friday. Jury's still out on that. But Yeah, we have been super busy with lots of appointments and activities for her. Then, of course, we went to see the beautiful little baby boy. And what else did we do? I stopped at my mom's after her appointment because it was in the same town. We spent some time there. That's pretty much what today's been like. We did go to the store, but just for a couple of things, nothing major. I am drinking Diet 7 Up. I'm extremely thirsty. But yeah, I've just been very busy. But I wanted to come on here with Melt Away Monday for you. And I just uploaded a video that is available for you to view right now called Inspiration in Tragedy. And so if I seem like my headspace is just not quite right, that's why. You'll know when you see the video. But I need to get this done. School is starting Friday, and yeah, I need to get it done because I need this house to function. And I want to go to the gym while she's at school. I doubt that I do that this Friday, but I would like to be doing that come Monday. So, yeah, I don't want to have to keep coming back to this and unpacking because if I'm going to the gym too, I'm really going to be stressing the knee, which is still not quite right. And I don't want to do that. And I don't want that knee to become an excuse for not going to the gym. Now, where I go, there's a swimming pool, there is a workout area. So I can do either or. I, of course, prefer the workout area. I haven't done that for so long. Like literally, maybe, have I done it since I got my new hip? Maybe one time. I don't even remember. It's been so long. I don't think that I have, though. I'm not sure, but I don't think that I've been to the gym for me to work out um, since my hip. And that's been over a year. In fact, it's been almost a year and a month. So your girl needs to get back to the gym, and I need to get back off this weight I gained because I need to be functioning way better than I am. I have no idea my steps because my Fitbit has been dead for, I don't know, 3 days. Yeah. I'm just, and normally, like, I don't let that thing go dead, okay? I don't like it when it goes dead. But lately, I'm just too busy and it's like, I'm still wearing it. Okay. I haven't even taken it off, even though it's dead. I don't know. I've just been busy, but it's good. It's good because being busy keeps me from eating. My daughter, however, is constantly hungry. And she we went out for lunch today, just me and her, because Daddy was home sleeping, from work. And she and I went out to lunch together, and she ate pretty good. And she told me she wasn't full. I said, well, if you're full, then you stop, because we listen to our body. And in the very next sentence and breath, she said, I'm hungry. I said, I thought you said you were full. She said, I'm full and hungry at the same time. Isn't that crazy? And I told her, I said, you can't be full and hungry at the same time. I said, you just ate a lot of food. You're full. And when your body is telling you it's full, you need to listen to it and you need to stop eating. I said, you're saying you're hungry because that's a habit. It's a habit for you to say you're hungry. And literally, guys, my husband made her pizza rolls around 2 o'clock. Now, we ate lunch around noon, noon. And he made her pizza rolls around 2 o'clock because she was hungry. He made her 10. She ate them all. At 4 o'clock, she wanted more. And he said no. And he told me that, fortunately, because she tried that on me when he went to work. He leaves for work at 4:15. And I told her no. But I see I'm hungry all the time pattern with her, and I think either she's bored or it's just out of habit that she says that, but she's eating behind that. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a habit, she's still sticking it in. So, yeah, kind of trying to get a handle on that before it becomes an issue. But again, I think it's purely just habit, but she's eating when she says it. So, that's not a good thing. Um, what else? She's starting to have second thoughts about going to her new school, which is a bummer. So we asked her more than once. Once we met with the principal of the school, we gave her the choice, and she chose this school. But she's starting to miss her friends, and they all went back today, and she did not. She doesn't go until Friday, so she's kind of missing it. She's missing the fun they had because her and her best friend would always chase boys at recess. So probably something she's not going to be allowed to do with the school, being that they're kind of have like a no touch policy, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't know how long she's going to be at this school. I don't know if it will be the whole year. I don't know if it will be until next year or if she'll just continue on. We're going to try it out though. We're going to make her go and give it a good try because I think it's just fear and nerves. But it helps certainly that she doesn't have to wear glasses. That why that bugs her, I don't know, but it did. It was bugging her, so that was kind of a nice surprise today at the eye doctor. But yeah, she she's having second thoughts, and it makes Mama feel really bad. I saw something go down behind me. That was really weird. I don't know if you all saw it, but I saw it, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a reflection or something. I don't know. But there was nothing behind me other than a light in the wall. So, and of course, window. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel bad because I mean I want my daughter to be happy. I want her to excel with her education and making friends, and I don't want her to be sad or lonely or missing her friends or even missing out. And I certainly don't want to crush her spirit. While she's a handful, this child has a beautiful spirit, and I'm blessed to be her mom. I am truly blessed to be called her mom. But it tugs at Mama's heart because I'm like, did we make a mistake? I don't know. But if we did, it's a correctable mistake. I mean, we can pop her out and re-enroll her. Um, she will not have missed much since they started today, but I really want her to try it because I think that she's going to get a better education there. And y'all, she was not getting a bad education where she was. She was getting a good education. And that's what made this such a tough decision because she was already getting a really good education. There were some things I didn't like, but you know what? You're going to have that wherever. Like, I don't like that they aren't teaching cursive. This one does. Um, I didn't like how they were teaching them to stretch out words, not even stretch out words, to memorize words instead of sound them out. And I think sounding them out may have helped her speech better. This one's going to teach by sounding out. So there's certain pluses to this. There are certainly negatives too. I mean, Josh ain't going to be in school on Fridays, at least for a little bit. That's not really a negative for her, but for Mama, it's a little bit of a negative because when she's at school, it's when I try to get as much done as I can. So, but we'll adjust. We'll cope and adjust, and we'll make do. It gives me extra time with her, and that's never a bad thing. It just isn't. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I might be letting her down, and I don't want to do that. I mean, y'all know if you're mamas or daddies, you don't want to let your child down, and you want to do what's best for them, not just educationally, but emotionally, physically, mentally, I mean, spiritually. You want to do what's best for them. You want them to excel and to grow and to flourish. And you definitely do not want to be the reason they don't in any of those areas. And so, as a mommy, I struggle. When she starts having doubts, I'm like, oh, did we make the right decision? I don't know. Again, y'all, if I'm really washed out as I appear to be, I don't know if I can adjust it any at all. But I appear to be extremely washed out still. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can like move it. It could be worse. Maybe I could like no, that's like can you even see me? Like you can see the light from the dining room shining on like half my face. The light in here is only a lamp and it's not dim, but it like blinds you over here, which is why it's off. So I have a light behind me, well, behind you all. And that light, sorry guys, is washing me out. Unless I do this, and then it causes it to focus on my face better. The struggles, y'all, the struggles. So what are you guys doing today? Because clearly my day has been pretty boring, with the exception of the cute little baby. That was a highlight. Who doesn't love a baby? Come on now. He's so stinking sweet. He slept the whole time I held him, and I held him for quite a while. I kept waiting for him to wake up, because he was hungry or needed changed, but he didn't. I had my daughter hold him, snapped a picture. He spit up on her. I'm like, he initiated you. She started laughing. Like, gross. Now, y'all, I'm used to that, okay? I'm used to babies throwing up on me because my best friend's baby did it every single time I held her. And only to me, like every single time. And that is how she got the nickname Pukey. They call her Pookie. I called her Pukey. But yeah, he didn't spit up on me. I mean, he was spitting up, but not on me. And I had that cloth. I was ready to go. I'm an old pro at being spit up all over. But no, he's doing good. His oxygen level was low, and they had him in the nursery for quite a while on oxygen, and they're still monitoring it. When I first got there, he was at 98%, and when I left, he was at 100%. I told the doctor he just needed me to hold him. I love babies. Can you tell? I do. I love babies, and they usually love me. But my cat is meowing if you hear him. It's my 17-plus-year-old. The plus, we have no idea how many plus there is because he kind of found us. We were moving my mom and dad into their home, and as we were unloading the truck, my brothers were on the truck, and I was standing there waiting for them to hand me stuff. And my brothers are like, "Do not move, do not move one step." And I looked at them like, "What is it? A snake? I'm not afraid of snakes." They're like, "No, but don't move." And I turned around to look, and there was a little kitten, which of course my husband and I pet, and it kept following us in the house. And we carried it all around the neighborhood, and nobody owned it. And somebody told us that it probably belonged to the people behind us, and they just had hundreds of cats. And they did just have hundreds of cats. Their cats just kept reproducing. They had a lot of strays. So we ended up taking him home. The poor baby was covered in fleas, covered in fleas. We gave him a flea dip, and the next day we took him to the vet and got him some real flea medication and a checkup. And been our baby ever since. He was our first pet together, and I keep joking that he'll probably be the last pet because, yeah, I think he's just decided that when pets go to the vet, they don't generally come back, and he's not allowing that. I think he's determined to like hold on until he's the last. But he does try to sneak out, so you got to watch him. And our neighbor, her dogs, like I said, one's a pit bull, one's a bulldog. Gentle. They're very gentle, but they've never been around cats. So I don't want to find out how they react to cats with my cat. And I don't want to try to chase him down in a new neighborhood that he's very unfamiliar with. What are you meowing at? Honey Bunch. Mama's boy. Y'all, like he's communicating with me. I don't know if he wants to go to bed or if he wants food because he's as bad as my daughter with that. He's always hungry. He's not really fat, but he has put on weight since they fixed his abscess he had. He has put on weight, and we do buy him canned cat food. For a while, we were giving him soft cat food, but he pretty much quit eating that. I mean, we'd give him his dry cat food with water on it to make it soft, and he pretty much quit eating that and just started eating the dry. So we quit putting it down because my dogs would eat it and mow it down, and then they would get sick. And that food does not want to come out of carpet. So, yeah, we quit putting that down. So they can eat it dry or not at all. I don't know what the difference is, but for some reason, I don't know if it just enabled them to eat more. I'm trying to see where he went because I'll see him now. He might have gone upstairs with Gabriella. I sent her up to bed. She still did not get to bed early enough, but we're getting there. It was a bit of a special day, seeing the baby and everything, so we got to bed a little late. Sorry if you hear him meowing, y'all. He is somewhere around here. Not sure where. My dogs are pretty much sleeping, which is always a good thing because otherwise they'd be making a lot of noise. Sorry, guys. I am rambling on. Yeah, I am. But I'm actually enjoying like adult time. Like seriously, adult time. I love my daughter, but y'all trying to keep up with that girl is something else. She has so much energy and so many stories. So many stories. She told me a story today. I doubt it's true, but she told me it, where she was carrying her doll and Daddy was around somewhere. I'm not exactly sure what he was doing. I think he was letting out another dog, and she fell. And superhero Daddy, when she screamed Daddy real loud, caught her and her dog before falling. Yeah, I don't think it's true. I also don't think she's asleep. That didn't sound like she's sleeping. I don't know, guys. She's going to be super tired come Friday if she doesn't start going to bed earlier. And she wakes up early. Tomorrow she has speech and soccer practice. And thankfully, I scheduled the speech for later this time so we don't have to get up super early. Because your girl wants to sleep in. I am tired, y'all. Tired. We've seriously been on the go every day. Up early. I almost wanted to skip church Sunday just to sleep in. I didn't, but I wanted to because I'm so tired of getting up early and running here and running there and running there. I like a much slower pace. I'll adapt, but this girl's going to keep me busy. I can tell. She's a mover and a shaker, and she's not a sit still type person at all. She can't sit still very long before she's up moving around, kicking her legs, wanting to go play, wanting to go do this, wanting to do that. And she'll go from one thing to the other. Seriously, her first soccer practice, she was a sweaty mess. Like, I would have been miserable the whole time because I don't like all that sweaty stuff. Like, didn't bother her at all. But for an hour, they're out there playing, they're playing hard, they're running, they're doing drills, they're running laps. She loved every minute of it. But did that wear her out? That gave her a second wind and wound her up. And it was all I could do to bring her down. Like, seriously, you got to calm down because, girl, you got to calm down. You are too wound up. And that was without any food, candy, snack. She was just wound up. Even my mom's like, and I felt bad because after her soccer practice, she had to go to my mom's to spend the night. She was going to stay for 2 nights because the next day I had to go get my eye injections, which we will talk about in a minute. So I felt really bad and somewhat relieved that I was leaving her with my mom. But my mom said that shortly after I left, she kind of calmed down, especially after her bath, which she desperately needed her bath. But she was excited and she was just wound up. But let's talk about my eye injections, shall we? I've been going to get these injections for over a year now. And y'all, I'm still getting them in both eyes. But there is improvement. Um, my left eye, which is the better of the two, was 2050 when I was first diagnosed with diabetic retinopathy. And it is now 2020 and has been for a long time. And the swelling is continuing to decrease. It's not all gone, but it's continuing to decrease. My right eye, which is the worst of the two, was 22,000 when I was diagnosed with diabetic retinopathy. And I did not neglect my vision, guys, okay? I had gone to get a diabetic exam just a few months before I had gone back and was diagnosed. I did not have it visible then, but a few months later, I did, and it was bad. So 22,000 when I was diagnosed, it is now 2060. He doesn't know how much of it will clear up because there's obviously scar tissue. So I am believing because I am a person of faith and I do believe in healing. I do believe in miracles. And I do believe that God will touch my eyes and I will see. No doubt in my mind. I am believing for crystal clear, sharp vision in both eyes being 2020. And I will not settle for less than that because I know that my God is a healer and I know that He works in my life. That being said, my doctor isn't sure because of the scar tissue. However, my eyes are continuing to improve. The swelling's going down, and I've noticed that I can see things more clearly than I could before. Like if I cover this eye, um, videos I used to watch used to be really distorted, especially Blessed Jess. Love her videos, but she would be really distorted. But now I can clearly read the bottle. Like I could clearly read that bottle with it covered. Not blurry, it's clear. And it was blurry about a week ago. I just got the injection. So about a week ago. So the injections last for 6 weeks, which is why I have to go back every 6 weeks. Will I always need these injections? No, I will not always need them. However, he will keep giving them to me as long as it is necessary and as long as my eyes are responding positively. My right eye has cleared up over 90%, which is phenomenal. Over 90% of it has completely cleared up. That in itself is a miracle. But I'm not stopping there. Okay, I'm going for the 2020 crystal clear sharp vision. That's what I prayed for. That's what I'm believing for. And I will not accept less. I will not let the devil steal my vision. I will not. I will not let him steal my healing, my miracle, my promise from God. I won't allow it. And that's just non-negotiable for me. The Lord prepared me for this. I didn't realize He was preparing me for this, but He did prepare me for this. And because He did, I knew exactly how to battle this. I am not the only person I know who has this. In fact, I know two other people. The one person is a friend of mine from church. She's had it for several years, longer than me. She is legally blind in her one eye and sees very little in her other eye. She cannot drive. She is on disability now. Um, her peripheral vision is gone. She can only see if she's looking straight at you, which is exactly where mine would go if it got worse. And let's not make a mistake here. I could do everything right and it could still go south, but I'm not believing for that. But when she started going through her thing, the Lord told me that she needed to just praise Him anyway. She needed to praise Him in her storm. And that always stuck with me. It's not something I've ever shared with her. And I probably should have. I didn't feel at the time that it was something I needed to share with her, but I probably should have. It may have made a difference. It may not have, but it may have. But anyway, when I was diagnosed, it was scary. It's scary when you think that you're going blind and that it may not be reversible no matter what you do. So I cried tears. I asked tons of questions from my friend. The other person was diagnosed the same day as me by the same doctor, but we go to two different specialists. because our insurance is different. But like I said, I cried a lot of tears. I said a lot of prayers. I asked a lot of questions. And I was fortunate in that she kind of prepared me for the eye injections. And she's like, listen, they aren't going to hurt. You know, you're going to feel pressure, but they aren't going to hurt. And the first visit was okay. The second visit, I actually had a panic attack during the visit, and he had to stop and wait. That would not have happened if he had listened to me. I love my doctor, don't get me wrong, but his bedside manner needs some improvement. But yeah, I was telling him that I could feel it, and he wasn't listening. And indeed, I could feel it, and it caused me to have a panic attack. And my husband had left the room to go to the bathroom when he came in. I was in the middle of said panic attack, and he's like, "What happened?" Because, you know, first time that didn't happen. So he's trying to console me, and he's like, "It's okay." And I'm just like, "No, it's not okay. None of this is okay. This is not okay." And I honestly never wanted to go back. Never. And not going back would have meant definitely being blind in both eyes. And that was more appealing to me than ever experiencing that again. And it wasn't so much the pain. And when I say pain, I do not mean from the needle. Y'all, you don't feel that really. It's like a pressure that you feel. Sometimes you feel more pressure, sometimes less. It's the clamp they use to open the eye, which you need so that you don't close the eye on them and so that you don't get infection and so he can hit the right spot. So it's an important part of the process, but for me, it's a painful part of the process. And for whatever reason, either I squeezed out too much of the numbing stuff when they put it in my eyes, or they just didn't give me long enough that day. I don't know, but I felt it. And the clamp hurt. And it felt like a razor on my eye. Like it hurt. And anyway, long story short, I actually had a panic attack. And literally a full blown panic attack. And then, of course, that was followed by a no, this isn't okay. None of this is okay. And I'm in tears and trying to catch my breath and breathe. And they, of course, left the room and gave me a few minutes and then came back. But yeah, that was not pretty. But again, I was fortunate to have someone tell me what the process was, and that did help ease it. But again, at that appointment, and I've never had that experience since. I mean, I felt the clamp, but it's never sent me into a panic attack. There are times when I'm a little more anxious than other times. Um, like this last visit, when the doctor came in, I told him, I said, I'm really stressed out and I just need to relax because I know what's going to happen, but I can tell I was just so tense. And he's like, yeah, you got this. You've done this so many times. And he's right. But I could just feel the tightness and the tension. And I just knew I needed to like take a couple deep breaths and let it go. It's just one of those things where you don't want to have that experience that you had before that was bad. Like I literally didn't ever want to go back. Even knowing I would go blind. And I don't want to be blind, y'all. I don't. And nothing against people who are blind, but I want to be able to see. And I want to be able to see my baby grow up and her babies and her crazy hair colors she chooses later in life. I don't know. But it was pretty bad that day. It was pretty bad that day. And where I go, we drive several hours each way and many times in bad weather in the winter. And when you couple that with my experience, I'd have been fine to never go back at that point. Like, my husband's like, yeah, you're going back. I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, yes, you are. You'll feel different when it comes time. I'm like, no, I don't think I will. And I was very, very, very nervous going back again. But I did go back. Lots of people were praying for me. And it was one of the smoothest visits I've ever had. Like, I didn't feel the clamp at all, which was amazing. I didn't feel the pressure from the needle at all. It was fine. So, you know, none of my injections have been the same. Not only is each eye different, each time is different. Sometimes I feel a little more pressure, sometimes a little less. Sometimes the eye drops burn, sometimes they don't burn at all. It's just the craziest thing. It's scary to think about having a needle put in your eye. It's scary to think about that. But the truth is that needle is probably as thick as a piece of your hair, as thick as a strand of your hair. It's not very thick. And you don't feel it except for a pressure. The last time the one eye, I really felt the Q-tip he put on it. I don't know if it's like a numbing thing or a cleaning thing. I'm not sure what he puts on that Q-tip. But he touches your eye where he's going to give you the injection with the Q-tip. I've never felt that before, but this last time with my one eye, I felt it. And that bothered me more than the clamp or the injection. A Q-tip. I don't know. It's different every time. But anyway, I've said all that. I've scrolled way out just to tell you I'm believing for a complete and total healing. And the way I intend to get that is to praise God through the storm anyway. And that's what I've done. And that's what I will continue to do. And that has helped me in so many different areas of my life. Because no matter what the battle is, whether it's financial, where we live, believe me, that one was right up there with a new hip. Okay. That was a tough struggle. And I just praised him anyway. And when I envision this, because I want you to be able to envision this, okay? If you're a believer and you're struggling and you know God's in control, but you're struggling and it's hard to just hang on, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to picture this. Picture the ugliest, darkest, dirtiest storm circling around you as you stand on a mountaintop at the very peak of it. And this storm is just swirling all around you, all around your head, all around your body. And it's just swirling around you. Just this black, awful storm. Things flying in it, just all around you. But you are standing still with your hands raised, praising God. Doesn't matter what that storm's doing, because that storm isn't going to touch you, because your eyes are not on that storm. Your eyes are on God. And if you have your eyes on that storm, then you're going to get hit with the debris. But if you have your eyes on God, that debris is not going to hit you. You will know that He is in control if you keep your eyes on Him. And it does not matter what that storm is. It could be financial, it could be healing, it could be you need a miracle, it could be you need a new place to live, it could be you need a new hip, it could be that you need your vision restored. Maybe you lost a limb and you need it restored. That might be your storm. And it does not matter how long you stand on that mountaintop with your hands up. You do not take your eyes off God. You don't look at that storm. That storm is an illusion that the devil uses. He uses that to defeat you. He tries to make it look bigger than it really is. But the truth is that God is bigger than any storm, whether that be cancer, a missing limb, diabetic retinopathy, eye injections, a new hip, financial breakthrough, like anything. God is bigger. God is bigger than cancer. He's bigger. He's bigger than any trouble, trial, tribulation that you have faced or are facing. And if you look back on where you've been and what God has done for you already, then you already know. You already know that God carried you anyway. When years ago I was going to a church, um, and this pastor's son had drawn a picture. And I'm trying to remember exactly what this picture looks like, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but you'll get the general idea. There was this really big, scary devil just staring at you, hovering over you. But behind that big, scary, dark shadow was this teeny tiny little devil, making himself appear bigger by having the light behind him making his shadow bigger. So that's what the enemy does. He tries to make things appear more dire, bigger, worse than they actually are. Many of the things we fear never, ever come to fruition. False evidence appearing real. The enemy defeats you by fear, by using false evidence that appears real. It's not even real. You're wasting your time worrying about it. And listen, I'm just as guilty of that. But the truth is, God's bigger. He's bigger than where we were living. And let me tell you all, that was almost a 3-year struggle. None of us wanted to be there, and it was getting bad. I was definitely heading to depression, and I am not a person that gets depressed. I'm just not. And I felt like the walls were closing in on me there. It was getting pretty bad, and I felt like we needed to be out of there before September. Like, I just knew we needed to be out of there before September. And new owners took over the place, and they were changing things. They were adding water meters before they paid for the water. And they were redetermining what your rent would be starting around September. And the water would also be around September. And the lawn care, which was previously done by them, was now up to you, or you would be fined every time they did it, a significant amount. So I could see the writing was on the wall for me that come September, things were doubling. Like, your rent was going to double, especially if you had pets. And of course we did. So I just felt in my spirit we needed to be out of there before September. And I was praying and praying, and I was looking, and my husband was kind of like, I don't really see the issue, until we started getting letters about the water meter coming in, and redetermining your rent, and they prorated our rent to cover 2 extra days because they wanted to change our rent due date from the 29th of the month to the 1st of the month. It was clear they were going to nickel and dime and take every penny they could get. And yeah, weeds were growing everywhere, empty trailers everywhere. And there were nothing but fields around these trailers. So, y'all know wildlife. So, yeah, I just felt like we needed to get out of there. They weren't going to be as selective as the previous owners were with who could move in. They were accepting aggressive dogs, and they used the terminology aggressive dogs. They were fine to have there. So that was a bit scary for me. We have smaller pets. My older cat is sneaking out. My daughter, who already can't play outside very much, So I just felt like we needed to be out of there. And it was getting daunting. I was definitely getting stressed, and it was a lot for me. It was a lot. And I do not say that lightly because, like I said, I am not a person who gets depressed. I'm not a person who is generally unhappy. So, yeah, I was not happy there. My husband wasn't happy there. My daughter definitely wasn't happy there. And my pets were not happy there. However, we are all happy here, including the pets. So, yeah, that is much, 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 much better. We are very happy to be here. But I've said all that to say, just hang on. Don't look at that storm that's swirling around you. Just keep your hands raised and let it swirl around you because it will not touch you. You're in the presence of God. And when you're in God's presence, darkness can't come in light. It can't. There's a lot of darkness around me, and this light is in front of me. But as you can clearly see, darkness cannot come into the light, no matter how much I try. I'm really washed out. But you get what I'm saying. You get the point. That's what I envision every single time I'm going through a battle. And it is exactly the image in my mind every time I go to my eye doctor. It's the image in my mind every time I hear the eye of the storm. Um, Satan can't touch you if you're in God's presence because he can't stand in God's presence. He has no power in God's presence. So if you stay in God's presence, which is where you should be anyway, can't touch you. It sounds so stinking simple, but it really is just that simple. It is your answer to any battle you face. Just praise God through it. And it's not easy, y'all. It's not easy. You know what? If your child is hurt or fighting for their life or they've been diagnosed with cancer, it is not easy to keep your eye on God and take it off that storm. Because you're a parent, you're worried. And that's how Satan gets you. Because he plays on your emotions and your fears. And it's not easy. It doesn't matter what that storm is. There's a reason he plays on those emotions and fears. because that's our weakness. We're human, and we love the people around us, and we care for them, and even ourselves. I love my vision. I love to be able to see, but I cannot allow him to use the love of my vision and my love of being able to see colors and read words against me. I can't allow him. And it's so much a spiritual battle, guys. It's so spiritual. And I'm positive that the majority of my viewers are probably not born again and probably not into this whole dialogue. And I, I don't apologize for being a believer, and I don't apologize for trusting in God or even putting that out there, because for every 10 it doesn't help, it could help one. And that's more important. It's just so important that if someone is struggling and they're battling and they're trying to hold on and they just feel like they can't, this is God talking to you. You can. Just hold on. Just hold on a little longer. When you don't know which way to go, you stand. And while you're standing there, stand in awe of him. You may not see him working, but he's working. He's working behind that storm. Don't take your eyes off God. Don't put your eyes on that storm. Don't you let that devil steal your blessing. He can't take what you don't give him. He can't take what you don't give him. If you are a child of God, he cannot take what you do not allow him to take. You know your authority. Use it. There are some believers who, this is getting all spiritual. So I'm sorry, y'all, if I've lost you like, oh my Lord, and almost an hour ago. Wow. Sorry. Sorry, this is so long. But if you're, there are just some believers who just don't get the battle. They just don't get the battle. That it's a battle. And it is indeed a battle. They're kind and they're nice and they're sweet. And they pray and they ask God, but they don't do warfare. And you are at war with the enemy. Make no mistake, like the Bible says, he is out to steal, kill, and destroy you and your family. And he is not going to stop until he succeeds or you defeat him. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot defeat him alone. You can only do so with the Lord, only with God. And if you want to be victorious, keep your eyes on Jesus and take your eyes off the storm. Take it off the battle and give that battle to God. It is warfare. If you were fighting an enemy, if you were fighting a bear that was coming after you, would you do so quietly? Or would you be authoritative and direct that bear where to go and assist in that little venture? I would assist in that little venture and direct that bear where to go. And spiritual warfare is very real. And if you want something, if you love something or someone, you fight for them. You fight for it. And you do so spiritually. because fighting in the flesh does no good. It does no good. And I don't know what kind of comments I'm going to get on this video. I don't even know how long it's going to take to upload this video because this was supposed to be a Melt Away Monday video, but it has clearly shifted. And I don't even know what I'm going to title this video, but this video is going to go up. It's going to go up because it is. Sometimes you just have to yield yourself. And this is me yielding myself to God. Maybe somebody needs to hear this. Maybe I need to hear this. Maybe I need to be able to watch this video later and hear this. Maybe someday someone's going to come across this video and it may be just exactly what they needed to fight their battle. Then this hour was worth it. And who knows what you're going to get when you want to find out what I weigh in. Just, down 0.2. It is late. It is almost 1 in the morning, so, I guess I get a slap happy pass at this point. Because, look. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. As soon as I said 1 in the morning, it's like, wow, I should be tired. And then I yawn. All right, guys. I am going to get off here. And I hope the video was a blessing to somebody. I really do. I hope it helps somebody. Whether that's today, tomorrow, next year, next month, 5 years, 20 years. Maybe after I'm dead and gone. I just hope it helps somebody. But know that if I'm dead and gone, I'm expecting to see you in heaven when you get there. So you can tell me, hey, I watched that really crazy video. The one where you only lost 0.2. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. I expect you to tell me. All right, y'all. I got to get off here because I am tired and I am getting slap happy and I am rambling on. And y'all know I don't like the deep videos. I don't. But I make no apologies for being a Christian. I don't. All right, guys. Many blessings. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit the little bell. It just notifies you whenever I upload a video. And if you've made it through this whole hour, wow. If you've made it through this whole hour, put a little emoji down there. I'm just wondering, did anybody make it through the whole hour? Because, wow, this has got to be the longest video I have ever done. And by far the longest Melt Away Monday video I've ever done. I'm not going to title it Melt Away Monday, but I don't know what I'm going to title it right now. I can tell you it is now Tuesday, and you won't be seeing this video right now. You will see it later because, well, let's face it, I ran the battery dead on here, and I'm tired. All right, guys, good night, y'all. Gotta find the button.